This is VOA News. I'm Marissa Melton. UK lawmakers have voted to take control of parliamentary business, another step toward regaining control of the Brexit process from Prime Minister Boris Johnson and his government. Another vote will be held now as early as Wednesday. If the legislation passes, it will pressure the Prime Minister to request another extension to the UK's departure date. Johnson aired his displeasure with the vote shortly after it was taken.
Mr. Speaker, I don't want an election. The public don't want an election. I don't believe the right honourable gentleman wants an election. But if the House votes for this bill tomorrow, the public will have to choose.
Government ministers had acknowledged ahead of the vote that it would test the Parliament's confidence in Johnson's relatively new government, and it also might precipitate fresh elections. Hurricane Dorian relentlessly battered Grand Bahama Island on Tuesday, even as the powerful storm began to edge closer to the mainland United States. Dorian is now classified as a Category 2 storm. That's down quite a bit from when it first slammed into the Bahamas as a most dangerous Category 5. Prime Minister Hubert Minnis told reporters at a Monday news conference that there were 5 confirmed deaths on Abaco Island, where Dorian struck, before moving on to Grand Bahama.
This is the time for us as Bahamians to show our love, our care, and our compassion for our fellow brothers and sisters.
Walmart says it will discontinue sales of ammunition for handguns and some assault-style rifles in stores across the United States. That's in response to the recent mass shootings in Texas and Ohio. The largest U.S. arms retailer has been under pressure to change its policies on gun sales. Walmart also said it would discontinue handgun sales in Alaska. That's the only state where it still sells that kind of gun. From Washington, you're listening to VOA News. Pope Francis is making a historic visit to Mozambique this week to start a 3-nation Africa tour. VOA's Anita Powell has more.
Mozambique's seaside capital is buzzing ahead of a historic papal visit. Maputo's soaring white cathedral is eagerly preparing for Pope Francis's visit, the first since Pope John Paul II arrived in 1988, while Mozambique was in the throes of a brutal civil war. Leaders signed a new peace agreement earlier this year, and parish priest Giorgio Ferretti says that this visit, too, is historic.
Now the visit of Pope Francis is coming after the last agreement of peace, so it's a kind of a blessing for all this period of talk.
Although about 1/4 of Mozambicans are Roman Catholic, those who are not of the faith say they'll also be paying attention. Anita Powell, VOA News, Maputo.
This is the Pontiff's second trip to Sub-Saharan Africa. He first visited in 2015, going to Kenya, Uganda, and the Central African Republic. Hong Kong Chief Executive Carrie Lam is being characterized today as saying she should step down, being responsible for the 3 months of protests. Media accounts broadly are reporting that she is purportedly admitting her part in the political upheaval by virtue of this recording from last week.
For a chief executive to have caused this huge havoc to Hong Kong is unforgivable. It's just unforgivable. If I have a choice, the first thing is to quit.
That recording inspired a report that she would apologize for her actions and resign. However, Hong Kong leader Carrie Lam told a group that is not quite what she meant.
In a private session, I just attempted to explain that as an individual, given the very difficult circumstances, might be it was an easy choice to leave. But I told myself repeatedly in the last 3 months that I and my team should stay on to help Hong Kong.
On Monday, tens of thousands of students joined together to boycott classes and demand that the government heed the demands of pro-democracy protesters who've been rallying in the streets for nearly 3 months. A Taliban vehicle bomb late on Monday in the Afghan capital of Kabul killed at least 16 people and wounded 119, officials say. A Taliban spokesman told the Associated Press the attack was a response to raids by the United States and Afghan forces on civilians in other parts of the country. The spokesman acknowledged there should be less harm to civilians, but he said they should not be living near such an important foreign compound. I'm Marissa Melton. You're listening to VOA News.